What's up, guys? It's Dave Atkinson here from drumlessons.com, and on this section we're going to be talking about some intermediate 5/4 drum beats. Now, hopefully you've had a chance to check out the beginner section. If you haven't already, go check those ones out. Those ones are pretty easy. These ones are quite a bit more tricky. Also, go and check out the introduction to 5/4 drumming. It's a great video that'll explain how to count and how to understand 5/4 a lot better. That being said, let's jump into number one. All right, number one looks really tricky, and it might seem that it should be in the advanced section. However, bear with me, because the way this is supposed to be played and the way to understand it is actually pretty simple, okay? It's all 16th notes, and basically what I'm doing is I'm trying to find a way to get 20 16th notes into one pattern. Now, if you know anything about theory, 5/4 means there's 5 quarter notes per bar, okay? And there are 4 16th notes per quarter note. If you do the math, that means there's 20 16th notes in one bar of 5/4, okay? Are you still with me here? This exercise is going to be a combination of a double paradiddle and a single paradiddle. Now, if you notice, I do my right hand on the hi-hat and my left hand on the snare at all times, okay? Before you even get into dynamics and before you even start worrying about those brackets around the notes, which are ghost notes, just get the structure and the actual pattern down first, okay? Now, we're going to be playing a double paradiddle followed by a single paradiddle. This is how it sounds. Okay, so that was just the double paradiddle there. You notice how I did one with my right hand lead and then one with my left hand lead. In total, that was 12 notes. Okay, so now I have 8 notes left to fill up my bar of 20 16th notes. What I'm going to do with that is play 2 paradiddles, one with my right hand lead and one with my left hand lead. That equals 8 notes. This is what that sounds like. Awesome. Now you got a set of double paradiddles and a set of single paradiddles. Let's put those together. This is what that sounds like. So if you're really struggling with this one, remember, it's just a pair of double paradiddles and a pair of single paradiddles back to back, okay? Now, when you want to make this groove, you're going to add your bass drum in. As you can see here, I've got the bass drum on the 1 and, the 2 and. Just watch the sheet music. It's pretty self-explanatory. Try to make sure you get those ghost notes in on the snare as well, because that's really going to make this groove feel more natural and actually flow. Okay, so here's how it sounds at a slow tempo, and then we'll speed it up for you. Now, I hope you're still with me. Let's speed it up, and you're going to see how you can make this groove so much better at a faster tempo. Again, if you're having trouble with the ghost notes, don't play those right now. Just get the pattern down, because once you start playing something that's recognizable to you, like a double paradiddle followed by a single paradiddle, the 5/4 pulse comes a lot more easily, I guess you can say. So here we go, a little bit faster, same pattern. Let's do it. Now, you can try and find your own pattern too. It doesn't have to be a double paradiddle followed by a single paradiddle. It could be whatever you want. The trick that I use is try to make a 20-note pattern with your 2 sticks that is easy enough to remember and easy enough to play at a fast tempo. Because then you don't even have to think about the pulse. You're playing that pattern, and every time it repeats, you know that the 5/4 bar is over. Okay? So it's a cool little way of doing things. I thought I'd throw that in the intermediate section because if you look at the beat, as it is, it seems tricky, but if you actually memorize the pattern with the paradiddles, you're going to be fine. Now, number 2, I'm going to add some double bass in, and I'm doing this just to kind of show you guys that it doesn't matter what style of music you're playing, or it doesn't matter what kind of drum set you're on, 5/4 can be used in anything, okay? And this pattern here is really cool. It's something that I've used in a couple songs that I've played myself. Basically, you're going to be doing a group of 6/8 notes on the bass drum, followed by a snare, followed by another group of 6/8 notes, okay? And the way I count this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do it slow, and we'll speed it up for you. Here we go. believe it or not, guys, that pattern is harder to play slow than it is fast, okay? So I'm excited to be able to show this one to you at a faster tempo because playing double bass slow, in my opinion, is a lot harder. Let's try this one at a bit faster tempo, and I'll see how we do. Let's go. All right, much better. Now let's move on to the last one. If you notice, this one is actually a jazz pattern. And the reason why I chose this one is it's because of Dave Brubeck's song, Take 5. That's actually a very popular and common song, and it's one that if you want to be a gigging drummer, if you want to play in a cover band, you're going to want to learn this pattern. So I thought I'd show it to you in the 5/4 section because it's a 5/4 pattern. Now, this is by no means a jazz drum set, and I'm not a very talented jazz drummer myself, but I'm going to show it to you anyways. And what you're going to notice is that it's very similar to the standard jazz pattern that everybody plays on the ride cymbal and the hi-hats. The only difference is you're going to add an extra quarter note in because it's 5/4, okay? And I do that on the 1 count. The 1 count is going to be a standalone ride cymbal, all right? Now, on the actual Take 5 song, he comps with his foot on the bass drum and he comps with his snare. I'm just going to show you the main meat behind the actual beat and then allow you guys to kind of improvise and do your own thing on the snare and the bass drum yourself, okay? For the beat, though, and for the lesson, I'm going to do a little traditional grip there just so you can think and pretend that I'm a great jazz drummer. Awesome. Let's try a little bit faster now. It's going to feel a lot better. Let's give it a try. Now, obviously, you guys got to put some comping in there with your bass drum and your snare and make it groove to whatever music you're playing. But that's the basic 5/4 jazz pattern, and it's a lot of fun to play. Once you get that down, you're going to be able to jam along to Take 5 and a bunch of other songs. So enjoy that one. That's it for the intermediate section, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let's keep going with the advanced. If you're ready, I'll see you on the next lesson. I think that was 7-2. What's up, guys? Notated this one. All right, so number 1 looks a little bit tricky, and it looks like it should be in the advanced section. 5/4 means there's 5 quarter notes, and there's 16, or there's... All right, so that was the double pedal. So when you play 2 groups of double... Perfect. So now you've got a set of double paradiddles and a set of... So if you're struggling trying to figure out 4/4 or... So if you're really struggling with this one, try to spin on the regular jazz. Now, I'm not a jazz drummer. Oh, did I talk about 2/4, 2/4 because it's consistent? Shoot. Ooh, because it does change a little bit because... How come I can't say this one? That's weird. Very weird. And a lot of people think that with... Other than that, it's pretty simple, pretty basic. Let's